Hey, how y'all doing out there today? Listen, I know this is going to get a lot of bad replies, and that's fine because I'm just going to speak my side of this so y'all understand me, your brother, and know that I want you all to be free and you all to be who you are and to all live your lives in beauty and love. But it ain't going to be that way because things are bad and things have been bad in the past. But I just want to bring up this issue about the rights and why you think you got a right to do this and why you think you got the right to do that and who gave you those rights and where you even think they even care about you. So let's start off with the women's rights. The women's rights were invented back in the 20s by a man named Edward Bernays because women couldn't smoke in public and Philip Morris wanted to sell more tobacco. He got a couple of beautiful women to walk with their boyfriends down an Easter parade in New York City. Beautiful debutantes. They were all smoking cigarettes, and the next day the headline read, "Women Smoking Torches of Freedom." Now look what's happened since then. Since then, the role of the mother, the most important role in the world, has been demonized. Abortion is rampantly legal, where it was always legal for health and baby reasons, but now it's a right. Women have entered the workforce. They became a new tax slave. Now they make taxes off women as well as men. So I don't see where that benefited anybody. In fact, it destroyed the family unit and it made being a mother look like a little small slave role when it's the most important role in the world. The life givers and the matriarchs of our families are the most important role. Then we're going to move up a little bit to black rights. All right. The Civil Rights Act came out on the year I was born, 1964. So I've lived through this. The black rights were given to you by Lyndon B. Johnson, a known outspoken racist. A known outspoken racist that said he would have all black people voting Democratic for the next 200 years by signing that bill. Also, since then, in 1964, the family unit was 72% intact. 72% intact. Today it's 7% intact. So who benefited from that? Who? The government, the people that want to destroy you, the racists. That's who benefited from it. Once again, the government making more taxes off of people and doing what they want to do, which is destroy the family unit to keep us all tax slaves and paying attention to them. Then we move up here recently in 1996 when the gay rights issues hit a pinnacle and the Supreme Court said that gay people have a right to love who they want to love. Well, you always had the right to love who you wanted to love. Maybe you couldn't do it in public and it being socially acceptable. I understand that. But you had a right to love who you want to love. And if you really love somebody, you didn't care what anybody else in the world thought about it. But since then, once again, since 1996, now this is turned against our children. Now, gay rights is being taught in the school. Transgenderism is being taught as a way you're born and not a mental condition, which it has been labeled. And I'm not saying one way or another for you come attacking me. These are the talking points that are thrown out there. So who benefited from gay rights and gay marriage? Because now they're making more money off taxation through marriage. And there you go. Insurance is making more money because of gay couples. All these things were about making money. All these things were about destroying your life to benefit the lives of the super rich. All these things were invented to make us divided and to make us argue so we didn't see the true enemy in DC or the super elite that think they run our lives. So what do I think you got a right to be? I think you got a right to be human. I think you have a right to love your brother as you love yourself. I think you have a right to love yourself. But these rights aren't given to you by men. These rights you were born with. If you would take the rights you were born with and fight the very government that says they're giving you rights, then you'll find out that all of our lives would be so much better and healthier and fuller. The government makes rights to create minorities. Minorities is a word that says you are lesser than the average person. Are you lesser than the average person? Because I don't see none of you as lesser. I do see many of you as being fooled. I see many of you as being downtrodden and oppressed. And you do need somebody to help you with this oppression, with being beaten down. But it's not the government. It is not paper laws. It is not through rights. You have the right to live, but you also have, other people have the right to live as well. You can never be free until you let another person be free. Why doesn't the government push that agenda? telling you to let others be free, to just leave others alone in their own way. My creed comes from earth people, and that is, and it harm none, do as thou wilt. So if you're not harming nobody, do what you want. But if, in fact, it may harm somebody else, then you're going to fight for a right to do it. And rights are another way of saying we control you, that we give you the right to do something. We say what you can and can't do. And that, y'all, is the problem. Where you always could have been you, you want some kind of acknowledgement to be you. Well, that's not self-confidence. That's not individual responsibility. That's not loving yourself. That's looking and making others accept you for who you are when they don't. Well, everybody ain't going to accept you, just like everybody don't accept me, just like everybody don't accept nothing. But if you live your life the way you want to, you'll find out that you'll be a lot more happy, and that you'll have a lot less enemies. Because look here, here's another thing about these rights. When women got their rights and black folks got their rights from the government, now is what I'm talking about. Not your inherent right as a human being born to live and be free and be unmolested. And the gay people, all of a sudden you were attacked venomously. Before the gay rights marriage thing, gays wasn't just openly beaten in the street like they are now. The same with women and black folks. It causes enemies, and they want us to be enemies with each other so we don't throw their ass. You want to talk about the abortion I wish was legal? I wish the government was aborted. I wish we would abort politics from our lives and from the way we talk to each other, because we talk to each other the way they talk to us. And is that what we the people are supposed to be? Huh? Talking to each other like shit over opinions and rights that you already have? No, I'm sorry. I love y'all enough to talk about this in this manner. But I'm mad enough to realize that, or to say this. I'm mad enough to say this, that you all have a right to be who you want to be around the majority of us. It's just a small few that get out there and mess it up for everybody else. And you think it's everybody, but it's not. It really isn't. It's what you see on the TV, and it's what these people in D.C. play us against each other. It's their way of doing it, because they feel they have a right to own and control us. So think about that. Where'd your rights come from? Who gave them to you, and who benefits from them? Think about that. And then do like I always ask you to do. Go to that mirror. Look in that mirror. Find a reason to love yourself. Say, I love you, self. I love you, me. And then you'll find out that loving and accepting your brother comes so much easy. And protecting and defending our very own life source, which is planet Earth, will be your number one concern. What about the rights of my planet? What about the rights of my goddess? What about the rights of our Mother Earth? Think about that. I love y'all. I just want you to think beyond what DC tells you to think about. Peace, and don't live in fear.